What's going on, guys, and welcome back to more Madden 19 Ultimate Team. This is a little bit of a different episode. This is episode 5.5. This is actually going to be our first lineup update. This video actually needs a tiny bit of explaining just because I kind of fucked up with my whole scheduling of how these videos are going up. So tomorrow's video, I actually end up talking about the same upgrades we make in this video because I decided to do this video after, and I realized halfway through the commentary in that game that I didn't go over the upgrades at all, because one of the games that I did go over them, it glitched. I know that makes no sense, but just know that tomorrow's gameplay, I actually end up talking about these upgrades again, but not for that long. I just wanted to get that out of the way so you guys don't think, bro, why are you talking about these again? You made a whole video on it. So I figured I'd just get that out of the way. And now, let's go ahead and get into this half episode, which is going to be the first lineup update. And I didn't make like any huge upgrades as far as skill positions, you know, like no big quarterbacks, because Russell Wilson's my quarterback. No wide receivers, no tight ends, but I did make some much needed upgrades on offense and defense, mainly on the O-line. I also got a second running back. So the first thing I want to go into is my center. So Brandon Linder was easily the biggest pickup for me. It was $50K to get this card. Now, the reason I got him was because he has 84 pass block, 84 run block, and Justin Britt was just getting bullied. I got to be completely honest. Justin Britt, 78 overall gold, was getting completely destroyed at center. I mean, I was not able to run behind him at all, so I decided to get Linder, spend a little bit of coinage. I think I ended up spending, 150K, probably a little bit over, maybe 160, 170 on all of these upgrades combined, but I would say like probably 150K around there for all of these upgrades combined. So a pretty decent chunk of change to spend early in the year, but I had to do it, man. My O-line needed the help really, really bad. So the next upgrade I got was TJ Lang. I definitely think Brandon Linder is probably the biggest upgrade for this episode, just because, well, we have one other fairly big one, but I think that one is best as far as impact, because he's just going to be at center the whole time. You're obviously going to know when your linemen are doing good. So anyway, at right guard we have TJ Lang. I got him because of his pass block. Not really too worried about his run block. I don't run that much to the right side, to be completely honest. Usually run to the left, so that's why Linder is awesome, as well as Hutchinson and Lawan. So I'm pretty much good on the left side of the line. TJ Lang should be good. I think our O-line's pretty much set for a while. I mean, there's really no reason for me to replace Jawan James, since we got him and he's nat, and he has 86 pass block. Just not great strength and not great run block, but like I said, I do not run to the right, so I'm not really that worried about it. So Taylor Lewan is good. Hutchinson, I'll upgrade him as we go. Tight end is good for me. Jimmy Graham has been great. Jermaine Gresham is a really good blocking tight end, as well as Will Dissly. Will Dissly rarely ever sees the field unless I'm subbing him into run block, so I mean, it pretty much works. We got 76 and 72 or 73 run block, I believe, on Dissly for you know, our running formations and stuff. So he has 71 strength as well as 73 run block. So yeah, we definitely got we have a running system. I think our left side of our line is definitely where we're going to run the ball, and we have two tight ends that can block and one that can't, but most of the time, like I said, Jimmy Graham's on the right. So the last upgrade on offense is going to be Derrick Henry. Now, I was actually kind of going back and forth between what kind of back I wanted to get, and I settled on I wanted a power back, but I wasn't like 100% settled on a power back. I wanted somebody that had carrying, and Derrick Henry had like one of the best 1-2 combos as far as those stats go, in my opinion. He has 87 carry, 77 break tackle, as well as 83 trucking and 83 speed. I mean, he just kind of has everything, and he's a really, really good back to pair with LaShawn McCoy, who has 53 trucking, and he can be our receiving back, and we are running a two-back system at a split close. So Derrick Henry and LaShawn McCoy should be very, very good. And that is one of the players that I end up touching on in tomorrow's video, a little bit more than anybody else. I talked about Henry for a second, unknowing that I was going to make this video. So again, I apologize for talking about upgrades and shit I already talked about in tomorrow's video. It's weird, you know, I need to plan better. That's the bottom line. So moving on with these upgrades, man, I'm going to go ahead and move on to defense. I guess I should go ahead and touch on James Devlin. I ended up picking him for one of my power-up packs. It probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. I had a couple other options, but I wanted to get a power-up fullback that had some good run block, and James Devlin was probably the best guy I could have got. Or maybe not power-up, just fullback with run block, and I figured since he was power-up, it would be even better because then I could put my West Coast chemistry on him. That's what I did. So James Devlin will probably be our fullback. He might be our fullback for the rest of the game. I'll probably just continue to upgrade him when we get more training. So now, here's where it gets interesting on defense. We actually have a loss on the D-line. We put Deion Jordan back as our starter. I will explain that. And Jerry Hughes is gone. We also have Jimmy Smith at corner. I'll just go ahead and skim over the upgrades so you guys know who they are, and then we'll go through the stats and the reason why I got them. And then we also got, well, we moved Mark Barron from, I think here. Yeah, we moved him from here to out here because he's going to be the guy we sub in for Clowney. And we picked up Barkevious Kiki Mingo, for about 11K is what I picked him up for. I guess I should say what I bought these players for. My bad. I did say Linder. TJ Lang was 20K. And Derrick Henry was 25K. So they each cost me a decent bit, but like I said, 150K total, around there for all these players combined. But Barkevious Mingo, I got him because he has 73 zone, and Von Miller has horrible zone, and that dude, I don't know what's up with him, but he can't play zone at all. Like, he's not even close, and like they throw to the flats, and he's just not there. So I got Barkevious Mingo. I mean, obviously, it's just kind of a perk that he's a Seahawk. For me, I'm actually pretty excited to see this guy play. He actually seemed like he was pretty good in the preseason. Obviously, I've only seen him in one game, but Barkevious Mingo could be good, and I'm excited to see him, so I'm happy to pick up his card in MUT. It's kind of crazy he's an 81, though. I mean, it's not like he had a crazy season, but I don't know. He's pretty good, man. Probably PFF rankings, he was pretty high. I didn't really look much at that. Anyway, talking too much about real-life shit. In the game, he has 77 tackle, 79 speed, so a good mix of speed and, going to be able to tackle people as well, of course. And 75 play rec is a big thing for me because I think that play rec is going to be a huge thing this year, as well as pursuit. Those are two stats I think that you guys should not sleep on for sure. The only, weak thing about him is 66 block shed, but we're planning to use him like a Bruce Irvin in the Seahawks system, and that's what I've heard Barkevious Mingo is going to be doing, is replacing Bruce Irvin's role in the actual Seahawks offense, so it's kind of ironic. We're going to be doing the same thing, basically, running him at end, running him at linebacker, but for the most part, he will be the sub for Von Miller when we sub in Von Miller on the D-line as well as Clowney, and that's where we're going to go to next is the D-line. So my plan for the entire defense is to run basically Barkevious Mingo and Mark Barron as our cover guys, and then move Von Miller and Jadeveon Clowney down to the D-line at end, at right end and left end, and then move DeMarcus Lawrence to D tackle number 2. So I'm going to make all those subs in game for my favorite formations, which are probably going to be 3-4 odd and bear and 4-4. Those are probably my favorite formations. You just got to switch it up. That's something I've learned. That's something I didn't really do, much through Madden 16, 17. I just refused to, lab the game, I guess. I just never really liked that term. I never wanted to put a shit ton of time into this game or just into Madden in general, but it really helps when you just pay attention and you're like, okay, if I make this sub, it could definitely help us, and, having backups definitely helps, and just having fresh legs out there, man. So DeMarcus Lawrence will mainly be our D tackle number 2, and that also gives us Damon Harrison to run around wherever. I mean, I'll put him in at end, in my bear formation, and Vita Vea as well, and DeMarcus Lawrence in that 3-down set just to stop the run. So we have 3 big run stoppers, because DeMarcus Lawrence is not really an end. He's a 3-4 end, which is what we're running. We're running the Giants defense, but he has a lot of solid stats on him. And pretty decent speed, especially for running him at D tackle. That's 72 speed at D tackle, which is pretty good. And even when Deion Jordan's in the game, he's easily the best gold in the entire game. The best gold I've played with in the entire game. He got so many sacks for me. Even when I've been using him in this spot and he's accidentally been in the game, he's gotten sacks. So I don't know, man. Deion Jordan will be there for a bit. I'll probably end up replacing him at some point once we figure out a different system or get more coins to get better players. But other than that, that's really what I'm trying to do as far as my front 7 goes, is just run like a pass rushing, tackling, hitting front. That's what I want to do. I don't want any pure speed guys that can't tackle. Pretty much there's a trend on my defense, and it is tackling and speed, I would say. I mean, there's not an absolute overwhelming amount of speed, but for the most part, we're going to have speed on the ends with Clowney and Miller, and we got speed with Mingo and Barron, as well as pretty good speed, high 70s, which is pretty good this year for linebackers with Bobby Wagner and Evans. So, I mean, I don't know. It depends on how you look at it. If you think that, having under 80 speed really isn't that much, and you got to have, really good speed to have, a speed linebacking core. But I think I got a good mix of players right now. So, moving on to the final upgrade of the day, and I wanted to get a cornerback, and it was between Marcus Peters and Jimmy Smith. I ended up going with Jimmy Smith for multiple reasons. One was because he actually had better zone and man than Marcus Peters, and he had one of the highest tackling ratings in the game. It's still not that high, but it's still one of the highest in the game. So I have some of the best guys in there to tackle, or I have one of the best guys in there to tackle. So at least I can try to rely on him, I guess. But it's only 63 tackle, but it's really not that bad for a corner if you think about it. So we'll be rocking him for a while. He has definitely played well in the couple games I have played with him. Hasn't gotten a pick yet, but he hasn't really been thrown to on his side. The guy that gets bullied is Rod Woodson. I haven't really taken the time to do those Hall of Fame solos. I did so many solos that I wanted to play head-to-head for a while, so I just haven't really been paying attention to that. We moved Shaquille Griffin down to the slot because, I mean, Shaquille Griffin has been amazing ever since I've had him. He's only gotten burnt a couple times. For an 80 overall, it's pretty good going against the receivers he was going against. So I'll definitely take that. So Shaquille Griffin will be in the slot. Rod Woodson will stay at number 2. And Jimmy Smith will stay at 1. There actually is one more thing I wanted to look at, was a specialist. And I think I did. I accidentally had Rod Woodson in as a slot cornerback. And I almost, on a game the game that glitched that I was talking about at the beginning, I actually almost got beat at the very end of the game because I had Shaquille Griffin on the outside instead of Rod Woodson. I definitely want Rod Woodson down there, you know, at the end game because he's going to be able to swat the ball down at least, especially when I'm playing off. He's not going to get beat if I'm giving him cushion, depending on who the receiver is, of course. But, I mean, I've pressed Brandon Cooks a couple times with Rod Woodson. He's got burnt, but not like a lot, not like crazy. So I think if I just give Rod Woodson cushion, he should be money at that number 2 spot. Shaquille Griffin should be money at slot. Jimmy Smith is good. I mean, I haven't really had any complaints about him. Cam Chancellor is easily the best player on our defense. He has made so many plays for us, man. D-line, we're going to have to see. Vita Vea has been a beast, though. I can tell you that much. Linebackers, I still need to upgrade Clowney and Miller more. Obviously, that's my plan. But they haven't done a ton. They've gotten sacks, haven't really gotten that many picks. We got that 1 pick with Clowney in the first game, but other than that, not really much in the coverage category, which is why I really wanted to get some coverage guys, because these two are just not that great in coverage. So on offense, like I said, we got Henry, we got O-line help. We basically helped out our run game a ton is what we did. And I think I have a very good balance of pass and run offense because, like I said, I don't run to the right that much. I have it set up with 2 passing. Well, Jawan James was just a happy accident, but I have it set up with 2 pass-heavy linemen as well as a receiving tight end. And then I have 2 run-blocking tight ends behind them and run-blocking fullback with 3 good receivers. And then I just end up subbing my tight ends in for the receivers and my running formations. I think I have a good thing going right now. And with the power-up players I have in, I think I split up my power-up players pretty well. I didn't like shove them down your throat, basically. I'm trying my best to upgrade Sean Taylor, but he's going to take a lot, man. But 82, he's been solid, man. I mean, there's really not a ton of formations that he's like has to do anything more than just covering deep, so haven't really gotten mad at him, but I think that's pretty much it, man. That's the first lineup update. Man, I talked for 13 fucking minutes. These lineup updates will probably be pretty lengthy each time because I'm going to be going through a decent bit of upgrades. I mean, I'm not just going to do a lineup update for 1 new card. I'll just end up throwing that at the beginning of each episode. And there is actually one, I just realized there is actually one more upgrade that we made, but I end up making it at the very beginning of next episode, so I'll leave that one as a surprise. So we did end up making one more upgrade, but you guys can't see him right now. He's actually as a backup somewhere. So anyway, that is going to do it, man. Let me know if you guys like these lineup updates or if you think I should just put this into the actual video and just shorten it or something. I mean, I don't know, man. I like doing this because it's always cool to have separate things that go into your actual series. That doesn't make any sense. But episode 5.5, I think it's cool to do half episodes and then you go to the next gameplay. And if you watch the whole lineup update, you know why I got these players. And if you didn't and you just jump into that gameplay, then it's like, wait, why do you get this player? Why do you do this? What's his defense? You know, that type of thing. So I always think that's cool. You know, reward the people that take the time to watch the extra videos and stuff like that. So this is fun. I like going through stuff like this and explaining what I'm doing so that you guys definitely know what I'm doing in the videos. You know, you know what my plan is, and if my plan doesn't work, you guys can tell. So anyway, that's going to do it, man. I'm done rambling. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Be sure to let me know what you thought. For real, I really want to know what you thought. Let me know if you guys want to see more of these. Maybe some more, like maybe some auction house videos. Maybe I show myself actually going and like picking between who I want to buy. That might be interesting, kind of like iMaverick's auction block series. I can't remember what he called. I'm blanking. I used to watch that. I haven't watched it recently, but yeah, he used to do an auction. I think he still does. It does an auction block series where he just goes through, talks about who he's going to pick up and why. Let me know if you guys want me to do something like that. That could be cool. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to look out for tomorrow's gameplay. Peace.